everyone, I'm Whitney from WhitneySews.com. In the past I've done a couple of videos about paper piecing, which is where you use a printed pattern to create a quilt block. You actually sew on the paper and then you tear the paper away and you have a finished quilt block. It's a great way to use up fabric scraps and to not have to cut specific size pieces to make a quilt block. Today I'm actually going to show you how to create your own paper piecing pattern design. Mine is for a specific project, so I'm cutting my piece of paper down to 8 by 11 inches to start. It's a good idea to go ahead and mark where the center is. You can be very strategic and measure everything, or just go with the flow like I do. I decided to start with a slanted square in the center. Then you work out from there, usually in a spiral. Your second section has to be even with the edges of the first, but can be as wide as you want. I'm going with a slant on all of my pieces. You can then add on to the other side, like in one of my previous patterns, or keep going around in a spiral. You want all straight lines. You don't want any curves because each piece has to be equal with the edge it butts up against. Keep doing this until your paper is covered. If you're going to sew this into a quilt, you might want to go ahead and add a 1/4 inch seam allowance around the outer edge. You will then label all of your pieces in the order that you drew them, and that will be the sewing order. Then go over every line with a marker. To see how you actually sew paper pieced blocks together, check out my paper piecing tutorial linked here. I decided my block kind of looked like a skewed or wonky log cabin block, so I decided to use red for the center like traditional log cabin blocks, and to use one color scheme for one side and a different for the other. And so I marked this in crayon on each section to help me remember while I was sewing. Here's a few other blocks that I just sketched out really quick to kind of give you some ideas. So that's just the basics on how to create your own paper piecing designs. You can definitely just take it and run from there and come up with all different sorts of things. And you definitely want to stick around and see what I did with my paper pieced design. I turned it into a project, and that will be my next tutorial, so definitely check back for that. And I will see everyone later. Bye!